And we're unmuted and we're in the right spots. And hi, everybody. Good evening and welcome back to Against the Tides. This is our homebrew campaign set in the continent of Wildemount in the world of Exandria. Might have heard of it. I'm joined today in every session by a wonderful group of players. We're going to kick it off with a round of introductions, starting with Sarah.
Hello, hi, I am Osarix Franco, and I play Kilby Sparkspinner, the forest gnome druid bard. And we're in a dark, scary forest, and it's too hot in here. Passing over to Chum.
It is very hot. My nether regions are sweaty. I'm Chum. I'm playing Anders Oberyn, the Shadow Monk, Soul Knife, Rogue. It's a mouthful, but it's super fun, and I hope I get to kick something in the face today. Over to Ty.
Everyone, I'm Tyrant. If I'm on Twitch and Twitter, Dr. Tyrant. I'm playing Mistwind Iron Fist, the Dwarf Paladin. And I also hopes that Anders gets to kick something in the face today. And that I get to protect my friends, because that's what I love doing most. Saint!
Hi, Dino Saint. You can find me here. Also on Twitch and Twitter at Dino Saint. I play Turley Remington, a tourist turtle life cleric who's recently rejoined the party. I realized today, and I want to share with you, that if anyone goes down in the party, I got you. If a second person goes down in the party, I also got you. But if I go down, the only person that's got one of us is Mistwind. And that's scary.
That may or may not be true.
What? You got
Actually, no.
some World of Warcraft goblin jumper cables in your backpack?
No,
yeah.
actually. Oh, you're talking down. All right.
Yeah, I'm talking down.
Are you down? Are you down for real? For real, not for play?
Yeah,
I mean,
Not for
real.
Anyway, it was a feared. I talked about it at dinner tonight, and I got scared that Ash was going to try to kill us.
I promise I won't yet.
I mean, she could try to kill me, but you know.
Oh shit, no, Ash, you can't try. It is illegal.
I got
If you check,
dodging.
there's an actually very obscure chapter in the Dungeon Master Guide, and if you actually read it, you would find that it is illegal for you to try to kill any of us.
Don't worry.
Okay.
It was actually
Don't worry. After I dodge all of the attacks, I will tell your stories, all of you. And after I run away, because
Sing
I
our
run
song.
very fast. I'm very
Sing our
fast.
song.
Yes, I will tell all of your stories. I will write them in my notebook and put it in the monastery archive.
In her final
Aww.
breath, Kelby will teach Anders how to play her lute. And then...
No, 100%. She'll just teach you how. Don't drop that dun-dun-na. So she expires from this mortal coil.
Oh, God. Well, hey, as we've all recently discovered, I'm really bad at writing recaps. Because I hate it. It's the goddamn worst. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a player do it.
I wonder who that will be.
It can't be me.
or
I
me.
mean,
Can't be.
It can't be me because I don't take notes.
Last
I have no
time,
idea what's going on.
Excellent.
Let's hear it, Ty.
we don't have the music, so I feel no compulsion to do the recorded voice.
Do you want some cool battle music? I can hook you up with that if you want.
Battle music.
Yeah, why not?
Just to be super serious. Yeah.
Here, let's let's try this one maybe.
I need you to put the breaking news music in Roll20 for me.
We'll have to do that for you. Yeah. This is like some build.
This is pretty good.
Here we go. Go
It's
for
pretty
it.
good.
Last time, on Against the Tides, the party inspected their gear and introspected themselves, looking at hearts, minds, and strange little coins that are just above the heart and sewn into the flesh. Soon after, as we were walking through the dark, mysterious, nether realm, sweaty woods, we came across two absolute dumbasses guarding a gate. And one of us was like, you know what? I don't like you guys. And charmed the shit out of them. We fleeced those fuckers for everything they had and sent them on a marathon for about an hour. I think they were stubby in leg, short in stature, so they probably couldn't make it too far, but they're going to have trouble finding their way back. We made our way into the inner sanctum of the woods, which at this point, thank God, because we've been going for weeks, but we're almost there, folks. We're almost there. We will make it to the top of this mountain. I mean, the middle of these woods. Near the end of the episode, however, we all fell asleep, I think? Or maybe we had a waking nightmare. It's unclear, because my memory is shit. But we all had very similar dreams.
It did it.
I knew it.
At the end of which...
Continue.
At the end of which, all of us met the gray-robed figure that has been plaguing us throughout our journey in these woods. And we were each given a vision, which I'm sure will be talked about in the hours to come. And that is where we left off.
Wait, I found some music.
Oh. I'm not doing this again!
No, you have to start over.
Breaking
Amazing.
news, hit rewind for the report.
I can't upload this applause clip fast enough. Shit.
I thought he had time. I thought he would give me a little more time. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Yeah, so all that happened. And now here we are. Let's see here. Let me bring up these notes real quick. I love at the end of Sarah's messages in her notes that she shares with all of us so that we all are on the same page. It just ended with, what does it all mean?
What does it all mean?
Oh god, what are they trying to tell us? Who are they? What are we missing? What does it mean?
What does
The
it
numbers,
mean?
Mason! What does it
What
mean?
does it mean? So good.
Perfect.
Man. Vibe. It's a way of life that I'm living currently. More on this at 10.
Excellent. Hey, perfect timing with that music. Thank you for that. So you guys know that you are close to your destination. You continue to follow the path that now seems to become even more difficult to follow, considering there's hardly a path to see in this extreme darkness. You all have to use magic or use a torch or something in order to see in here. For those of you who do not have dark vision, which I think is most of you. You don't? Okay, yeah, no, it's okay. I don't think the human has it. I'm pretty sure Mistwind has it. Maybe Poignet, and that's about it. But yeah, it is extremely dark and terrifying in here. The noises that you hear as you continue down this path are unsettling. Strange things that you can't quite explain and very obviously cannot even see as you continue to trudge day by day through this horrifically hot, dense, really dark as hell forest. Would Turley still continue to cast Find the Path, and then would Anders also still use the amulet to try and zero in?
Yes.
So no for
From
Turley. No for Turley because I think you had mentioned in the last session how the path had pretty much straightened out.
Mm-hmm.
And it really hadn't been varying at all, and it was following the path we were on pretty much. And so I don't think Turley would waste it, because I mean that's his highest level spell slot and the only spell slot he has for that.
Okay.
So once it became clear that we were in the right direction and like on the path, he would stop casting that because the forest is dark and scary and light's going. And now there's Fae around and there are other uses for that spell slot that he needs.
Okay. But Anders would be using the amulet to try and
Yeah, absolutely.
help show it. What does it look like when you pull out this amulet and try and zero in with it?
I mean, I feel like that, given the past, farther away, it just kind of, he started out holding it to see if it would do anything. Mm-hmm. And then as it got strong, it seemed to get stronger based on your description. Like he would just take it out of his shirt and it would just kind of like, start lifting out of his hand to kind of point away till, I guess ultimately the closer we get, it's like sticking out like a, insert your sexual innuendo here.
Excellent. You're muted, Sarah.
You're muted, Sarah.
I was
Damn
muted.
it.
I know.
Damn.
Well, here, wait.
So insert your sexual innuendo here.
In your endo.
There you go. That's it.
Can we get one more take?
Yeah, clean take on that one?
We need to bring
roll back?
the close-up camera
No,
in.
we got
Yep.
it. We got it.
Okay. Excellent.
Oh.
That's a rep.
So yeah, I mean, it just seemed like it would if it's getting stronger that he kind of pulls it out the same way, but it and then he kind of stuff it back in his shirt, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and you will notice that this thing, like, you pull it out from underneath your shirt and it just like immediately sticks to one side, like the chain doesn't even move anymore. It knows exactly where it's trying to zero in on. And that is essentially your guiding force to try and find this other amulet. Is there anything that you guys say or do during this time? I would estimate it takes you another 4 to 6 days to get through to where your intended destination is. So anything that you want to do within that time, now's your chance.
Turley has something he would like to do.
Yeah.
Just above the table, is Poinista with us?
Yes.
Cool. So at some point during the trip, Turley would kind of call people close around as we're traveling, and I have a I have a question that I need to ask all of you now, because if the answer is yes, that I need to do something, I'm gonna need to know now that you're okay with me doing it.
What would that be?
I just want to know if you trust me enough that if things get really, really bad, to take you all somewhere else. I'm basically asking for consent in case you were unable to give it in that moment.
I mean, I trust you, Turley. If your judgment says we need to go somewhere and you can get us out of danger, then I don't have a problem.
Yeah. I mean, for a little more context, I'm just worried about, dark, scary forest, fey creatures all around. We don't exactly know what's become of this place and what's here now.
Oh,
What if it's a little more than we can handle? I have a way to get us out, but if I don't have your consent, I can't do it.
I guess my question would be, do you mind defining very, very bad? Because if things get a little scary and some of us are hurt, then we've been hurt before.
I'm saying if multiple among us are down, and I don't think we're going to survive. And by down, I mean out. And by out, I mean bleeding in a lethal way.
Where would you take us?
It's better if I don't tell you exactly where, but Rexington.
I trust you, Turley.
To the library there.
No.
I bet it's like a really cool bar or something.
I mean, it does have some similarities to speakeasies in that it's not easily found or accessible or known.
Do you have a way of getting us back?
To here? No. It's a one-way trip. But, again, it's a lethal situation thing. I'm saying if it's a question of saving your lives or staying, do I have your consent to take us somewhere safe?
Yes.
That's one.
We've come so far. Already. I understand what you're saying, Turley. I guess I do give my consent, but it's not that I don't trust your judgment. But I would hope that you would confer with whoever is still up first.
Of course I would.
Okay. Then yes.
It's just, listen, you can't give consent and be willing if you're unconscious is the problem.
I realize. Sorry, Kelby. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I know that this is really scary and intimidating. I kind of like the idea of, living. So I'm going to say yes. Take me, if you can. Unless I use a code phrase.
All right. What's your code phrase?
I'll have to think about it.
You
Once
better
I know,
think
I'll
soon.
tell you.
An arrow could come out of the woods at any moment and take you down. Stun Anders. Mute Mistwind.
You're right.
What is that word?
It has to, just a single word. It can't be a phrase.
It can be whatever you want. I'm just giving you shit. Just think about it. Anyway, in case something goes wrong. That's all it was.
Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna have a phrase.
All right. I look forward to whatever you come up with. All right. Well, that's all I wanted to check in. I just, things are getting dark and scary, so.
I appreciate it.
Didn't want to do anything you didn't want me to do,
The last thing I'll say, and this is just my point of view, and solely for me, not for any of the rest of you. If it comes down to me specifically, or the mission, complete the mission.
Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. I get it.
This is bigger than me.
It's bigger than me too, and I get that. It's bigger than any one of us. But if there's none of us left, and in that instance, I would need to get us to safety. That's all.
Of course. But I think it'd be pretty hard to get us at that point. And I dare you, any of you fucking fae that are listening, I dare
Word
you
of
to
God,
try.
give me a second to see if I have silence prepared. Fuck.
No, I'm just kidding. But thank you for asking. It does mean a lot. I mean, regardless of if, your specific spell mandated it or not, it means a lot that you asked.
I mean, even if it wasn't part of the incantation, I wouldn't do anything to you without your consent when you're unable to give it. Huan Yi, on the other hand, and we can fade to black on that if you want.
Yeah, he's like unresponsive, and you see him like itching at his wrist, and that's about it.
I said Huan Yi, on the other hand. Never mind, he's lost in his thoughts. It's fine.
I just like sidle over towards Turley. By the way,
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about a question that you asked me pretty soon after you got back and we entered the forest. About,
Was I drunk when I asked it?
I don't think. Well, maybe, I don't know. But you asked me if about the worth of life and if pranks, that question.
Yeah.
I say, what is life worth living if we don't get a little excitement out of it?
All right. So, if a prank becomes lethal, you're willing to go through with it? We bring him back?
Aye.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I don't think that whoever the prankee is would necessarily be too happy, but
Yeah. All right, Mr. Chaos.
well,
I will keep that in mind.
I've had a little time to think on this journey and some soul searching, and I think that we can take such risks.
If it comes up, I will count on your discretion.
Of course.
Charlie, I know what my word is going to be. I've given it some thought, and it's very important with any kind of passphrase that it's something that you wouldn't say in any other context. Something that stands alone, independent of anything else. So, rather than try and use a word that exists, I think I've made up one. And I think it's very good.
Hang on before you tell me. Can I get
Yes.
a judge's ruling from the rest of the group? Do we think it's going to be good?
Aye.
I think so.
Wait.
Kelby's been surprising us with knowledge recently.
I predict it will be
This is-
profane.
Well, see, that's the concern, Anders, is I know that my vocabulary can get very inventive. So I had to think to myself, what is a word that absolutely super duper doesn't exist? That's so bizarre and crazy that even in the middle of a rant, if I were to say it, Turley would know that I meant to say it and it wasn't just in a bit of passion. You know?
Mm.
'Cause it can't be a real word.
I am, as they say, all ears.
Kelby kind of looks at her lute for a second, but decides now's not the time. And she looks at you very seriously, putting her little hands on her hips. Pineapple.
That's it?
What do you mean that's it? That's a great made-up
Not
word that I
like-
just made up.
Not like shitfucker pineapple or...
No, see, shitfucker pineapple, the pineapple part I probably wouldn't say, but shitfucker, I say that stuff all the time. But no, pineapple. What? That's like the most absurd thing I've ever heard. It's like 2 words mushed into a singular word. It's complete nonsense.
I mean, it's a fruit.
We're all gonna no. We're all gonna agree.
You
to
just
let
made it up.
Kelby
Yeah,
Yeah,
have this completely made up word.
it's a
it's
brand
super
new
duper
word.
made up.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a new word, and I'm really glad that we're giving it the gravitas that it deserves
I
Yep.
mean,
in this
Here's-
moment, because it's very serious. This is a life or
you-
death word that I just
It
made
is
up. Pineapple.
Absolutely, 100%. But here's the thing: I feel like we need to make a test run. So, like the next time that we're in mixed company, like a tavern or a bar or something, I want you to try and work your made-up word into a
No.
sentence.
No, because what happens if something
But
goes
no.
bad and you have to yoink us out of there?
No, I'm
And
saying
I'm out there,
I will-
pineapple, like a big dumb. And no, everybody's gonna look at me like I'm stupid. And like, this lady's just saying crazy things.
All right. Well, then here's what we're gonna do. I want you to come up with a facial expression that also goes along with it, so that I know when you're saying pineapple with this facial expression, you don't actually mean it, and it's part of the test. Now, it's got to be a facial expression you would never make.
I'll need some more time to think about it.
You have all of the time you need until shit goes wrong.
I'm actually kind of surprised you guys are just like really chill with this very good word that I made up. Like nobody even like laughed. You just,
It's great.
gosh, I'm losing my touch.
How would an apple have pines on it? It makes no sense.
Or a pine, or how would a pine have apples on it? Or if you could like think about
100%.
it, pineapple, like you can say it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
It's absurd. Anyways, that's my word.
Everybody got that? Kelby's made up word is peanut people.
No, pineapple. Pineapple.
Panoply, pineapple pen. I don't know whatever it is.
But the real question is, does it belong on pizza or not?
What's a
It's
pizza?
It's another made-up word. I don't know. I was coming up with one too. Sorry.
In all words are made up.
Kelby kind of goes over to Mistwin and puts a hand on his shoulder. Listen, some of us are just more talented in making up words than others. And just kind of like rubs his shoulder.
Mistwin, we both know that is a very true statement.
It is. It is true. Yes.
It's okay, Mistwin. It's just I just have that creative spark, you know?
That you do. That you do. Now, can you come up with like place of origin, definition for this word? I'd love to hear what you think.
Or like use it in a sentence kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Turley, pineapple.
I mean, that is a sentence. Technically.
Technically.
I didn't think that one through.
But the real question is, what is a pineapple?
It's a code word for Turley to not yeet me out of existence. To Rexing fart or wherever.
Wait, hold on. Is it to not do it or do it?
No,
do
not
it.
do it.
No, you
No,
want
not
him
do
to
it.
do it.
No, no. He has
Oh.
permission to do it unless I say pineapple, and then he can't.
I am very glad we are sorting this out.
But
because
Kelby, the whole
I
point
thought
of this.
I thought your last breath was going to be like, pineapple, and then we could go.
No. It's when I want to sacrifice myself in a very brave and bold way like Mistwin, I can look at Turley and with all the gravitas in my own little body go, pineapple.
And then charge bravely into the front lines.
Yeah, see, Turley gets it. He sees the vision.
Huh?
Kelby holds up a little hand for a high five.
It takes a second, and then without looking, he just moves his hand over.
Well, I've had my quota for made-up words for the day, so Kelby, are we almost there yet?
Yeah, I gotta pee. Can we stop to pee?
I didn't really need to know that. Yeah, we can stop. You just go over there like you normally would.
Yeah, but I kind of want
Weirdo.
snacks. Can you get snacks while I'm...
While you pee?
Is that not how, like, stops during travel work? I'm so confused.
Well, oh, okay, I misunderstood. It just seemed really important to you that you'd be doing both of them at the same time.
Oh, no. What kind of pineapple shit is that?
You can't just use it all the time. It will lose its meaning. It's only in case of emergencies.
Seemed like an emergency to straighten that shit out in your head.
Taylor, do you need to take a pineapple?
No, stop ruining my word.
My pineapple.
Make up
is
your
itching.
own words. No.
Gross. You hear from God in your ears.
Who said that?
Nobody. It's all in your head.
I think besides this conversation as we're traveling that remainder of a few days, I think Kelby, again, like since we've entered the forest, like there's been little sparks, little glimmers of her normal self, particularly since the conversation she had with the party. But I overall think that there is still that kind of overwhelming, like, moody, broody Kelby. She will not have played her lute at all. Like, it would not have, like, even if, like, she accidentally brushed the string, she would immediately, like, mute it. Like, it would not have been touched at all. She wouldn't have been humming to herself or singing in any capacity. She would just be trucking right along.
This is extremely good. Anyone else doing anything hyper specific in your last few days on the road? Okay. Y'all would notice that as time wears on, Poignet becomes more and more quiet. That he kind of recedes into himself and chooses not to engage in conversation, chooses to remain at the back of the group, never chooses to go on watch. At the very most, will speak up when you all set a campfire for the night, just to try and claim a spot nearest it to try and stay warm. Which is weird because it's already so hot here. It's more humid than anything, but that's the most you genuinely hear from him. And one night, you all experience these same strange dreams that you've been having the entire time you've been in the forest, where you have a relative reoccurring nightmare of certain scenarios you've already been in. And tonight is a recreation of the one that you had about a week ago, where you are brought into a dark void and there is a person standing there in a gray robe, just waiting. It all plays out the exact same for all of you. Poignet's is a little different. And you wake up, each of you regaining consciousness and finding yourself in this strange dark space once again. Perhaps the fire's going out a little bit, or whoever is last on watch is keen to wake everyone up from their slumber. And you notice Poignet is not there. There is no evidence of him ever being there.
Early.
Yeah.
when I told you I'd give you my permission to do those sorts of pranks, I figured you would wait until at least I was there to see it.
What?
Poigny. He's not here.
Well, where'd he go?
I thought you would know.
How the fuck would I know? Is he trying to pull something? Is he trying to do a trick on us?
Well, I don't know, Turley. You're the master of disappearance.
Okay, I mean, I get the concern, but that's a little harsh.
Sorry.
Wait. What's happening?
Poigny is gone.
Gone where? What? Did you see him wander off?
No. He's just gone.
Yeah, this seems important, and Shirley goes over to Kelby. Kelby, pineapple.
What? You can't. Don't just say pineapple. It's for special occasions.
I'm sorry.
Come up with a whole new word.
No. Pineapple's fine. Pineapple's missing. I mean, Poigny's missing.
What?
Poigny's gone.
What do you mean? And Kelby's gonna get up and look around and
Does
look back
anyone
at
else?
Turley.
Does anyone else talk, Kelby? Because I said what I mean, and she's still asking me.
Is there anything left of his belongings or anything?
You can make an investigation check.
I can. 24.
You see where he laid down to rest right next to the fire. The kind of grass that was in this area was just slightly displaced. That is the most that you can tell.
Any tracks?
None that you can see.
Okay.
I would like to look at the surroundings to see if Poigny is waiting to spring an elaborate trap on me or all of us.
Okay,
If that's okay.
absolutely.
I rolled. Would this be investigation or perception? Or
I think because you're looking kind of in the general area, probably perception.
great, 18.
18. Nope. Same strange dark area. There's, you can't really see much further outside of your camp, but yeah, that's about all you can tell.
That son of a bitch is planning something. I know it.
I don't think so. There are no tracks. No sign that he is gone on foot.
I mean, have we seen him actually make tracks?
Well, I mean, it looks like he laid down at some point. Kelby, can you send them a message?
Yeah, I can send a message. What do you want me to say?
I mean, you could start with where the fuck are you? Or where the pineapple are you?
You can't just use it. I knew I should have kept it a secret.
Oh, I thought it was like
No,
like a
it's for
addition.
this specific use only. You don't. Why would you just say pineapple? We can come up
But
with
it's an
different code words.
emergency.
It's a different kind of emergency.
Oh.
Hey, Ash.
Hey, Ty.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
We don't see any no notes or anything.
Not that you can tell. No.
Fuck, I didn't even leave a note.
Even I knew to leave a note.
I know. Some level of courtesy.
Do we have beef that we need to work out, Mistwin?
No, we don't. I'm just glad you're back. Truly.
Hurley.
Yes, his
I
name
wasn't
is
going that long.
Kelby is going to cast sending. Hey, Pointy. Did your mom pick you up? Or do you not like us anymore? I hope you're safe. Call back. Meet up soon. Pineapple.
I will DM you the response.
Help! I'm inside a man-eating plant.
I mean, could that Fae have come back and picked him up?
I mean, it's possible, though. I don't think he left by conventional means.
Kelby, who is kind of focusing on the spell, her brow's gonna furrow, and she's gonna look around confused at all of you. He says he's home.
Shit.
Well, I guess we should be happy for him. I know that is where we would, well, most of us would rather be. Actually, probably just me. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I don't want to be home. It actually might be a little bit of a blessing in disguise for us. Because if you remember when we met him, he didn't think we were real. Everybody
he still thinks we're real.
Right, but that's the thing, is that he thought home was fucking with him. But if he's home now, and he's talking to Kelby, maybe he'll believe it.
That is an excellent point.
Maybe. Well, if he wants to come back, I'm sure he'll come back. In the meantime, I guess we just have to keep going.
Hey.
Indeed.
Does he have a way to find us if we move on?
I can tell him when we get where we need to later.
I mean, he is from a very supernatural place. I would think they have the means to find people.
You manifest daggers out of nowhere. Do you have the means to find people?
I mean, I don't. My skills are very specific.
Fair. That was just more curiosity than anything else.
I'm also not from the hills.
Really? I mean, I don't know where you're from. I didn't think you were not from there or from there. I'm not trying to say anything.
I told you where I am from.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure it'll all be fine. Anyway, Not too much further.
It seems to be getting stronger with the amulet, so yes, I think you're right. I hope you're right.
Is everybody okay?
It's just very hot and close in here.
All right. Onward! The Mistwind goes walking down the path.
Okay. Everyone following?
Yeah. I think Turley'd stay back a little bit, keeping an eye on Kelby. Because I am assuming that the looks that Sarah is giving are slightly in character, and so Turley would be a little concerned.
Yeah, Kelby's trying to be chill, trying to be cool, but this whole like party members going missing, like she is not a fan. Like she hates it.
Yeah, and Turley remembers how you responded to him coming home, so he kind of just is keeping an eye out, making sure you're okay.
Okay. So Poignet is not with you all for one reason or another. Unknown, no tracks, no note, barely a sign that he was ever there. And you continue forward, knowing that hopefully he'll be able to rejoin you where you're intending to go. That he knows where you're trying to go. It remains dense and dark. It's starting to choke the air around you with how humid it is here. You would have acclimated by now with the few weeks you've been in this forest, but it is wearing on you. No one should have to bear this torrential humidity for as long as you have, let alone anyone who actually lives here. It seems unbelievable in all aspects. One afternoon, and you'd barely know it's even afternoon, but consulting with your druid to figure out roughly what time it might be. One afternoon, Anders uses his amulet to try and zero in on where they're going. And it just starts swinging. There's no any specific direction that it's pointing to. It starts spinning in a circle wildly on the chain. And you see ahead of you on this path a very dim light off in the distance. Imperceptible to most, but the fact that you have been acclimated to this darkness for however long you have become hypersensitive to any light around you. So seeing this tiny speck of a light out in the distance, you are enraptured by it. What is it? A campfire? A lantern? A bonfire? A firestorm? Hard to say from this distance, but each and every one of you is drawn to it like a moth to a flame. Do you have any specific reaction to actually seeing light in here?
I have a clarifying question about the amulet. So
Absolutely.
it starts being non-directional, but still active. are we still moving? Like, because I guess my main question is, is it like in the ground below us or something? Or, well, I guess it would point down if that was true. It's just as we're moving, we're still moving forward, and it's doing this.
It would be pointing in a specific direction, excuse me, and then all of a sudden just start like trying to figure out the direction it needs to be in. Still kind of generally pointing you forward, but at the same time, it's like the eyes in this creepy amulet are like, they're not actually moving, but you can swear it's like an owl with it moving around trying to actually look.
Okay, it's not. It's just not. It's almost as if it's not sure. It's like, I think we need to go this way, but now I'm not sure. Or something's blocking it. All right, never mind. All right.
You can try and figure out what the fuck it's doing if you'd like.
Okay.
What would be a good role for this? I feel like I always just throw perception and investigation because that's basically all I'd know to usually use.
I mean, is it magical? Are you doing Arcana or?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, Arcana is kind of the one that was on the back burner there. You could either do that or Insight, whatever one you prefer.
Well, I'm better at insight, but maybe someone who's magical would help me try to figure out the Arcana.
I have the... Which is it? I'm a bard. What is that thing called? Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
I'm not proficient, but I've got Jack of all half proficiency with Arcana.
I would say you could help with that. You can make like a convincing argument to try and deduce the hell is happening to this thing.
So the question is, would they give me an advantage on the roll then?
Yes.
So the question is, for the players, would you roll at advantage with a +2 or a single die with a +6?
Wait, is it insight? Is that what you're
Insight
wanting to roll?
my insight is a +6.
Oh, I will
if I roll
absolutely.
that-
I have expertise in insight. So
I can roll at
give you the
advantage with
there.
insight.
Yeah,
Never mind.
let's do that.
All right, let's do that one. Wow. You're both fired.
No.
12.
That's I have +12 to insight.
No, I only have +6, but I rolled a 6. I rolled a 6 and a 2. Both those dice are in jail.
Straight to
You
jail.
failed me.
Straight to jail with
Chong
you.
chong.
Do not pass go.
So you're working with Kelby to try and figure out what it means, why it's wildly circling around. It's still connected to this chain, but like looking like it's kind of unsure of where it wants to go, and then also maybe it's pointing in a certain direction. It's kind of hard to say, but based on you using it, you would recognize that it kind of like, while it previously you would use it and it would point in a certain direction, it would kind of wobble a little bit. It wouldn't just sit there perfectly looking in a specific direction. It would occasionally, but the closer you got here, the more it started to kind of wiggle as it looked in that direction. So you could make some sort of an assumption here, but that would be up to you to make said assumption. I'm not going to tell you.
It's seems like it is almost sensing like an energy, but doesn't have a specific point. And as we get closer, the energy is bigger. It does not know where to fixate, perhaps.
Could somebody be using the amulet?
I mean,
Like theirs? to power something, maybe?
I suppose so. I've never tried to do anything with it except wear it around my neck. Maybe next time we stop, I should have a more of a look at it. I don't know.
Don't know. I don't know what it means.
Yeah, this is not in my wheelhouse, even remotely.
I
Can you
mean,
hold it out, Anders?
join the club. What?
Can you hold it out just so I can watch?
Yes, yes.
GM, Kelby wants, like, I was kind of helping Anders tinker with it. And now that she's clued in a little bit more, is it okay if I try to, like, ascertain kind of like the vibe?
Yeah, absolutely. You would be able to make an insight check on it if you would like.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Let's go, buddies. 15 plus 12 is 27.
Nice. All right. You would have caught this thing out of like the corner of your eye every once in a while when Anders would pull it out from under his shirt to try and zero in on where you guys are going. And you would have also recognized that this thing would start to kind of wiggle wildly, even when it was pointing in a general direction. It would confirm it, but like start to not necessarily second guess itself, but like it was thrumming with energy. And now, being much closer to your goal here, this thing, it looks like it can't really contain itself. It's like it's excited. Like it has an emotion of being elated at being close to another of its kind. If you could deduce an emotion from an inanimate object.
Yeah, I think Kelly wants to go over and like just lightly put her finger, like, and reach up to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel any different? Warm or?
It feels like it's buzzing.
Yeah, so Kelby will quickly draw her hand away from it.
Well, I guess one of us is looking forward to this. I think it's happy. I think it's like excited.
It is a necklace.
Well, I don't know. It has weird fucking eyes on it, Anders. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just saying. It looks like it's like really excited, like it's like getting all amped up to like go on stage or see someone it hasn't seen in a long time. Like it's just like jazzed to be here.
What did you just say? Like it hasn't seen something in a long time.
Well, yeah, right? Like when you haven't seen someone and you want to see them, you get excited.
So the idea is that we collect these things and bring them together, and it's supposed to solve the problem. So perhaps the problem was caused because someone separated these things 30 years ago.
Oh,
And they are living things like a family. Or, yeah, like a family.
So it makes a lot of sense.
I mean, okay. I hope it's not like my family. Anyways, we should probably get it to where it needs to go then.
Yes. We should keep going. By the way, did anyone notice that there's a light up there?
Yeah, I just thought we traveled far enough north that there was suddenly a light at the end of the tunnel.
I hope so.
Have we traveled far enough? Please tell me that's a lie. Is that Poigny? Is Poigny up ahead of us, like, tricking us?
Maybe he's flashing us.
Wait.
I
Is your
hope
little
not.
is your little friend buddy still with you, or did he roll away?
No, he's here.
Well, it's not him. It? Her? What is little Smokey's gender?
I think it's
Don't think he has one.
more amorphous than anything.
We'll go with they then. They them then. Then that's confusing now.
About the night, Kelby, if this is our destination, is there any way that you want to specifically approach, or we just go in, well, feet first?
What do you mean? Like just walking in? I mean, it's all different. I don't know. I don't really know where I am. It's too dark. So,
Do you-
I mean,
Do you think we need to do any like reconnaissance or
I could do that.
I think, well, yeah, Anders, if you want to scout ahead, I think that's probably smart. I'll, Charlie, would it be okay
Yes.
carry me for a minute?
Yeah.
I just have something I need to do.
Sure. I mean, what do you weigh? Like 10 pounds? 20?
Well, I mean, it's not very nice to ask a lady what they weigh, but
It was a joke. I'm saying you don't wait. That's easy to carry you.
okay.
And Kelby's gonna move over, so Charlie can kind of like she'll like curl up, whether it's on.
He's not.
Well, how's he?
He's not scooping down for you. You gotta climb. Come on, get up.
All right.
Kelby will kind of try and scramble up his pack, I guess, to sit like up on the back of his shell.
About halfway, he lean down to let you.
Okay, and help me up. And she would kind of pull up her hood and like hold on to the back of Charlie's shell. She's gonna focus on another task. And she just have her hood low as she's kind of muttering to herself.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it takes for you to get that scarf done, you just let me know. I'm happy to keep you off the trail so you can work on that.
You just feel a small little flick on the back of your head.
Thanks. Can you get the other side too? My neck's a little stick. Stick's a little neck. Next, you know what I'm trying to say.
Kelby sitting up on top of Turley gives him an idea for a moment, and he goes, "You know, if we ever like become wanted criminals or whatever, and they know what we look like, Kelby, we can travel around. You could like stand on my shoulders, and we can get like a trench coat or something, and it could be just like two little people making a bigger person in a trench coat. I think that'd be fun."
There isn't a response from Kelby as she's like again seems to be focused on something.
I'll store that away.
I think it's a good idea. I have a disguise kit. I could do up the person who is on top.
Can you make the face a little bit? Okay, we know who's going to be on top. Let's be honest. Can you make the face a little wider though? Because I think Kelby's face is going to look weird on I'm sorry, Miss One, but a wide frame.
I mean, I'm sure we can think of something.
It's like
Tiny head.
You just get like a big hat or something, and it like a triangle cloak. Be good.
Like, is this some kind of weird religious thing that I need to know about you?
No.
Triangle cloak.
Are there people
piggyback
with,
rides.
Are there people with triangle cloaks?
We just said triangle cloak, like a triangle hat and a like. You were painting a pretty specific. Never mind. I'm just giving. God, Pawnee's gone and nobody here knows how to take a goddamn joke.
I'm sorry, Truly. Truly.
Think you got it right, so I'll let it slide.
Okay, so reconnaissance.
Yes. Yeah. So, Anders will spend 2 key points and cast Dark Vision on himself,
Excellent.
and move ahead of the group to staying in the shadows. Obviously, there's a lot of shadows, and scout ahead.
Okay. The light ahead of you all seems really far away. Like, imperceptibly far away. At first glance, it looked like it might be a torch that was maybe 100 yards away, but the closer you get, it doesn't really seem to move very much or grow brighter or larger by any means. It would take you the greater part of like an hour trying to get even remotely close to this thing. Would you still attempt that?
I mean, we're still moving forward anyway.
Yeah,
so-
regardless, we're going to be moving
Yeah.
towards it.
Okay. All right. So you continue.
Oh, hold on. There would be something else I would do too.
Sure.
Let me roll a d6.
Cool things? Cool Andrew things?
Well, that I'll have to do it again, but that was an hour. So psychic whispers.
Psychic whiskers.
Everyone gets psychic whiskers. So no, yeah, the whole telepathy
Mhm.
thing.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I can communicate back.
Okay. So at about the hour mark, just nearly before it, you can finally tell what kind of light this is. It does look like a lantern, and it looks to be on the path. And the closer you get to it, the brighter it glows, and eventually you'll see another one further off in the distance. You seem to have found a lighted path.
It is a lantern. Come on, catch up.
I'm not familiar with this game. It is Canteen.
No, the light
back.
is a lantern.
Oh,
Catch up to me. Come.
All right. So there's a lantern. There's another one. I guess we just follow them until we get where we need to go, yes?
I mean, someone wants us to follow them, I'm sure. But yes, it's the best thing we've had, closest thing to a clue. So, before we move past the first one, is there any significant visual thing at the first one, like an entrance to the forest or a building, or you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like someone stuck a lantern in the middle of this dark ass forest. You know, is there anything else around the first lantern?
I'm glad you asked. It looks like it is, it's like on a pole, but the pole is made out of these thorny vines and jagged tree bark. It doesn't look to be just like a regular pole fixated in the ground.
What about the lantern? Is it an oil lantern? Is it a magical lantern? You know what I mean? It's like, is it burning something or is it just burning?
It appears to just be burning. It looks to be magical light. The thorny vines are kind of like wrapping around it a little bit. It still has the light projecting out of it, but it is being held entirely by these weird vines that are acting as this pole and like digging and burrowing in the ground beneath it.
What do you all make of this? I was hopeful, but now I'm not so sure.
Hey, Kelby.
What?
There's some things on the road you need to see because we don't know if they're normal.
Kelby will kind of peer out from like her hood, keeping it pulled up over her face, and she'll go look over at the vine, I guess. Does it look like it's familiar? I'm in my head, I'm picturing like very spooky Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent, overgrown, viney vine, like not natural, clearly magical. Like that's what I'm picturing in my head.
Yeah, it's
Is that what
more
I'm
or less
seeing?
that. Yeah, the vines themselves like widen and then thin themselves out in kind of weird, unnatural sort of ways. But yeah, it's basically that. This does not seem normal to you. You would know that there might be lights on a pathway. You might have seen some on your way out of the forest, but not like this.
This isn't normal. They wouldn't light a path like this. This is something else. We should be really careful, but we should hurry.
Mistwin, you know, there are fish in the sea that have little lights on them that, attract their prey. Could this be one of those man-eating plants you are talking about?
You know, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad theory. I guess there's only one way to find out, and I'm going to touch the light.
No.
It's a lantern.
Seems fine to me.
All right. Well, good thing we checked that out.
Keep your eye out. I'm not too convinced that we're gonna get out of this forest without seeing something like that, though.
Okay. I will keep an eye out. Anders gonna be extra vigilant.
As we're going past that lantern, Turley would have been kind of messing with the fabric tied around his staff, and like without really saying a word, would just like lift the lantern off and start carrying it with them.
You would have a bit of trouble attempting that at first because it is completely wrapped by this vine. But eventually you'd be able to break it free, and the like metal hook on top of it would just sling right over.
Sorry, we've reached a bit of turbulence, Kelby.
You would feel that she kind of grips onto your shell a little bit more, but doesn't really say anything.
As we journey further in along this path, do we see more and more of these vines?
These are similar vines to what you've seen throughout your entire time here in the forest. But it's a good thing you asked. They are hyper concentrated now. They are everywhere.
There's no like super scary like spiked poison vines or anything like that.
You wouldn't know that they're poison.
Well, I already
So
know
there are
not to touch
spikes.
vines, so Kelby has lectured me thoroughly.
Excellent. Yeah, there's just a ton of vines. They would have been literally everywhere your entire trek. And now they seem to be there, like, at least double the amount that you've seen previously. Large roots of trees kind of coming up and out of the ground and kind of moving away from their base in like a wave, while these thorns wrap around those roots and wrap around the trunk and kind of hang and dangle from the canopy above. They're everywhere.
I'll be up front with Anders, just chopping away at vines. I feel like at this point we're probably not scouting or anything like that.
Mhm.
I'll just be chopping away at vines if they get in our way. Chop, chop, chop.
I would say easy enough to do, but these things are hardy. And the first time you go to hit one of these, it doesn't react the same way that the vines in this forest have for you. Previously, you know, it would take a couple good whacks and it would like split in half and you'd be able to trudge on through. But these things are... It's basically like the equivalent of hardwood, where it takes several attempts to try and cut through them. Some of the smaller vines are younger and easier to cut through, but it's the thicker ones that you're having a really tough time getting through.
To know. Boy, Anders,
Yes.
you can summon spectral weapons.
Yes.
Could you summon me a spectral axe?
Unfortunately, it does not work like that, and my weapons, they don't cause physical harm, they cause harm to the mind.
Wait. So if you were to try to cut one of these vines right now, it wouldn't actually cut it?
No, they are not physical blades. They are psychic blades. They manifest to damage the mind.
Huh.
I do not
Okay.
actually cause physical harm with them. Now, my feet, on the other hand, those cause physical harm.
Good to know. Oh well. One of these days I should get an axe. What's a dwarf without an axe?
I didn't know you didn't have one.
I mean, I have this like tiny little hand axe, but you know, something with some girth.
I mean, I have heard that the size does not matter, so it's what you do with it that counts.
Wise words, Anders. I'm just gonna start chopping away with the tiny axe.
And you continue swinging away with your axe. And it takes you a significant amount of time to get through. Eventually, you find like bits of the path here that are not completely entrenched in these vines, making your trek through here a lot easier. And you find another lantern. And another one. And the fourth one is burning oil instead of magically lit. And then the fifth one is magic. And then the sixth one is oil again, with like candles stuck on the ground.
Interesting.
You keep finding them as you continue down this path until seemingly all at once there is a massive bright light ahead of you. Or at least that's what it appears to be at first. It is a collection of lights and lanterns and candles, all encompassing this massive grove of an area. This place, too, is extremely overgrown. There is a large tree stump in the middle so big you can't even see around either side of it, but this thing is hollow and has windows and doors knocked out of it, platforms wrapping around it, and candles and lanterns hanging all over it. There are boxes and crates in every immovable area in this grove. There are vines everywhere, most of them stemming from this giant hollow tree trunk. And yet you can see a lot of it is cut back. A lot of it is pushed away in a sense that is a domineering sort of effect, that whatever is happening here is being controlled and is also wildly out of control. It's a fine balance. And there are people here. Dozens of them. Gnomes. Lots of them. Moving in a way that appears sluggish and tiresome. You see them moving crates hither and to. You see them using pulleys to bring whatever is in these boxes up onto higher platforms to store them somewhere. This platform system around this hollow tree is not the only structure built within the woods here. There are small hovels on the ground, but most of them are up in the trees. Most of them are look to be like they are accessible by these pulley systems, by ladders, by chutes, and by all these different strange machina sort of things to allow access. Kelby. This is entirely unrecognizable, but in your heart you know this is your home. There are small key clues here indicating that this is where you come from. A signpost that has well-worn letters that are imperceptible to where you're currently at, but the silhouette of it is unmistakable to you. A couple gnomes that pass through in the place where you all are essentially hiding, looking out into this grove, look familiar. You see a cousin in there. You see one of your brothers. But they don't look exactly like you remembered. They look exhausted and unlike themselves. This does not look like your home, but again, in your heart of hearts, you know this to be where you come from. This is a massive open area that looks to be severely and harshly cut back, much like the attempts at cutting through the thorns and the vines down the path. It is a similar jagged sort of exterior of this area. And you can even see a bit of moonlight passing through just a small escaped area in the canopy up above. Just a brief amount, but not much more than that. Dimly lit lanterns and candles hang and are lit from nearly every perceptible place here. So it is like a beacon. Very odd considering how dark it's been in here. And the people bumbling about are doing exactly that. They are gnomes that look exhausted and tired. That's redundant. Just having the worst of times here. But somehow driven to continue moving, continue working. You would know that it's fairly late at night. It's about the time that you would start, you know, bedding down in camp. But most of you, hopefully all of you, were motivated by trying to get to wherever the fuck this light was coming from. And here you are. now standing hidden in the brush on the just on the outskirts of this area here. What y'all doing?
Kelby's going to slip down Turley's shell to the floor, and lightly reach out and take Turley's hand and squeeze a couple of his fingers before taking a few steps in front of everybody, where she'll pull back her hood. Instead of the like bright brunette curls and blue eyes, Kelby will still look like a gnome. She'll still be short and slender, but she'll have it'll look like it's pretty long blonde, like bright blonde hair that's braided and kind of turned up all over her head in different braids. And she'll look back at Turley, and her expression will be just kind of that same moody, broody Kelby sort of a thing, like very stoic, very serious, and she'll have soft brown eyes, and her face will be a little more thin, a little more gaunt, as she has cast Disguise Self on herself, so she looks entirely different. And she'll look at Turley, then Anders, and Mistwin. I think it's important that I not... Well, I think it will be easier if they don't know who I am.
Okay, Belsi.
I like that. We'll go with that. Belsi. I think that's very
well.
good.
I was okay. I was kidding around, but yep.
Mistwin, this is very much like what happened at your home.
I think that's what I was thinking.
We should be careful. There might be another one of those weird fucking dragon ladies with multiple little gooey lizard things that came out of her. I'm still kind of freaked out by that, so I hope we don't run into them again.
Every time this comes up, I am just happier and happier I was not there.
We might be able to find a storeroom of some kind. This is all very different from when I was here, so I don't know what it will look like. But, I guess we could start looking.
Anyone we need to keep an eye out for? Any defining characteristics?
GM, as Belsi looks around, like, I'm like clearly able to see like faces that I recognize like in the crowd as they like move about their job and everything.
Yep.
Do I see any guards or individuals that seem to be directing the work?
You don't even need to make a check for this. There doesn't seem to be anyone telling anyone what to do. It just seems to be some sort of like a cog in the machine sort of a thing. Someone's got a job to pick up a crate here, bring it over to this pulley, have it go up, wait for the pulley to come back down with another crate, move it to a different area. And it's not like it's super busy work, but, just keeping them busy. You see them actually doing things, with the storage here, with You see some people packing pouches into these crates, others nailing them shut, others placing them on carts that have no horses, others just storing them elsewhere. They all seem to have a job that they are wholly motivated to complete on their own.
It looks like it's as boring and terrible as it always was. Everyone with a job to do and no brains to question why they're doing it.
I was going
far
to say,
as-
does it look like they're drones, or are they chit-chatting, you know, like, are they exhibiting normal person behavior, or are they just, like, zombie-like, no expression, carrying things, you know, like ants?
They don't seem to have any sort of social aspect to this. You kind of hear mumbling and grumbling about as they pass one another, but it's more like a brief, hey, watch it, or make sure the stack doesn't fall, sort of a thing.
Okay.
Not so much anything like, hey, Jerry, how are you and the kids? Like, there's no...
Right, okay, so they're not jovial, but they're not, like, just mindless drones, you know, that are focused solely on a task and not speaking or anything like that. They're still interacting with each other. Maybe they're miserable, but...
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay.
To piggyback on that, I'd also like to... Does anybody seem, like, actively skittish? Like if I fuck this up, I'm gonna get whipped kind of thing, you know?
I mean, you can... Do you want to roll for it to see if you can look for something that specific?
Yeah, sure.
Let's
Assuming
do perception. Yeah, for that one.
I don't think I see shit. 16.
Okay. Well, with that, it doesn't seem to be like anyone's really concerned about their jobs. Like they're working in tandem with one another. Beyond exhausted, like they've been doing this for hours and days and perhaps much longer than that. Yeah, you don't see, you know, guards waiting to tell them to do how to do their job or anything like that. It's more of everyone just doing their job, doing the
Got
work.
it.
Kilby, I don't want to pry too much, and you can just tell me to fuck off if you don't want to talk about it, but what's the organization, what's this all about? I mean, it seems like some sort of massive enterprise is going on here.
What do you, I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Like, I know you've talked a little bit about your family and how they, you know, did some business. Is there like a... I'm just trying to think of maybe is there any like hierarchical structure, or like are there any leaders, henchmen, or are there like you know, what if we needed to blend in kind of thing, which just Missman looks around. That might be hard. I don't know. Is there anything we need to know about? Like, ooh, we need to respect a certain person, like bow in front of them, or like I don't know.
I feel like sorry, I'm looking at something really quick. When you say it's like it's gonna be kind of hard to blend in, she'll kind of knit her brow together and look and like kind of realize like, oh shit, oh yeah, like you guys don't match. And is going to turn and look back at the group that seemingly doesn't care that we're here necessarily yet.
Listen, just... I don't know what's going on here. This is completely different. It's all backwards and weird, and it's like home, but not. So I feel like just as far as who is in charge, Nocktonics, they were in charge. Gragnar. You just want to look out for Gragnar. And his sons. I mean, other than that, just treat it like a business deal, I guess. If we can help it, I can do most of the talking, but I understand that might be difficult. I don't know what to tell you. I think right now what we need to do is just try and find a storehouse where we can find the amulet. Anders, is the amulet like doing anything, or
can we find I know there's a bunch of stuff like kind of down and around, but can we kind of tuck behind like some vines while we're having this conversation?
Absolutely, yeah. Much easier to do than you would think. As you like duck beneath these vines, you recognize that the sound is quite muffled. You can't really like hear the hustle and bustle of what's happening out in the grove. So you are fairly confident that your conversation is pretty much just sticking between you all.
I'll check the amulet.
You pull out the amulet, and it is like... Here, I'll show you. It's just kind of like spinning on the chain like in a circle, like this. No real way where it's going. Not facing any specific way. Just spinning.
No help here.
Mm.
You know, if there is another one here, and whoever is in charge now, like, has it under lock and key, we might not want to show that there's another one with
Agreed.
us. So maybe we don't check the amulet again. Like,
Okay.
it doesn't seem like it's getting any different. It's not really giving us much information, so we kind of just got to go on our nose, I guess.
Right. It seems like we might be walking into somewhat of a lion's den, especially since we don't know exactly what's going to happen. If you wouldn't mind...
Well, I can tell you a little bit about what might happen, or what would have happened. First of all, none of you would have made it this far, so just keep that in mind. Second, if we offend somebody, they're going to make you feel bad in all of the ways that they possibly can. Your pride, your hopes, your dreams, they will wreck them all in front of your eyes, and you'll wish that you'd never been born. So just go into this knowing that words can hurt a lot. Okay?
DM.
Mm-hmm.
How much of that is Kelby's backstory, and how much of that seems like it's this area?
You think I'm gonna tell you that?
No, but I'm asking if it's okay to roll to find out.
Feel free to do an insight check on your good friend there.
I mean, we've been traveling with Poigny for so long. I feel like we're kind of inundated.
Yeah, it's a 10, so I don't think I know anything.
I can tell you, you've traveled with Kelby for long enough. She seems to be serious. And you'll notice that, like, typically insults, like, don't really phase Kelby all that much. Mm-hmm. She might feign a little bit of hurt, but, like, it doesn't seem to, like, really bother her that much. Mm-hmm. And she's genuine, where she's saying, like, they will reduce you. They will use their words to be mean to you.
Gotcha. All right, cool. I hate to say this, and it's definitely not based on anything that you just said, Kelby, but I can't help but notice one of these things is definitely not like the other. Taps his shell. Is it worth me staying outside and just being within earshot?
No, I have a plan. Can you all just get kind of, well, let me, 1 second. I feel like I can, I know they said that I've done it before. Yes, okay, yeah, I know how to do it, but I just need you guys to kind of stand close. Can you just put your hands like in a cool pile?
Put my hand on top of Mistwind's hand.
Kelby is going to kind of take her hands and put them like over each of you and go,
It's gonna be kind of hard to stick together, so just stay close to me, okay?
Okay.
What are you about to do?
Kelby is going to burn a 4th level spell and cast invisibility on the 3 of them.
This is extremely good.
Kelby, do you mind pinging invisibility real quick?
Yeah. I'm gonna see.
Mistwind's voice floats out from the ether. All right. Well, this helps a little bit, at least.
It won't last for very long. It'll last about as long as I can focus on it and as long as I look like this, well, this bitch. But if we can get in and get out, just be careful not to knock anything over or anything like that. We should be okay.
All right. Group hug for old time's sake.
Just like, is everybody? Where did you all go?
What is my nostril, please?
Sorry. I don't know where my staff is.
As we're hugging, Mistwind like sinks his head into the pile and squeezes a little tighter, and this like blue ball of energy appears in the middle of us and just kind of like puffs into a cloud, and everyone feels like this kind of tingle across their like shoulders and down into their stomach, and everyone gains 14 temporary hit points.
Was this a spell or something that would further be deemed as an action?
I mean, it's my channel divinity, so I don't think it's a spell necessarily.
Does it specifically say it's an action that you have to take?
I mean, invisibility just says attack or cast a spell. I mean, that's the thing. If I knew it was gonna get rid of the invisibility, I wouldn't do it. But let me see.
Can you ping it?
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Sad that usually that stupid little voice gets a rise out of Bright. Now I'm sad they're not here. Damn it. It's okay. Also, we haven't addressed that at all. Bright's not here this session.
So here's a good litmus test. You can't counterspell or dispel a channel divinity, therefore it is not a spell.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're able to do it.
Everybody gets 14 temporary hit points.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Kelby's gonna, once that's all done, kind of look out and like see everyone's gone and just kind of sigh, gone, and that she can't see them. And sigh.
I hate this. follow me, I guess.
And Kelby's going to step out back into the bustle, and she's going to try and find, like... I knew... When I was here, I knew, like, headquarters, so to speak, or, like, main hub. Like, obviously, things are very, very different now. But I think that's where she would start.
Okay.
Maybe like up on this platform where everybody's like taking stuff up, and keeping in mind too, in back in Stone Garden, right? There was like a nefarious presence at work there. I think she's kind of like looking for that like weird dragon lady that's gonna explode into multiple dragons.
Okay. Excellent. So, what was your fake name again? Belby?
Belsi.
Belsi, perfect. Belsi.
Yes, I am Belsi.
No one will ever suspect.
Not in the least bit. Not in the least bit. One young Miss Belsi makes her way out into the thrum of the traffic, the foot traffic, as it were. You blend in easy enough. It might take a second to like match the same sort of sluggish speed as everyone else here, but you are able to do that easy enough as you go and inspect the general area. You said you wanted to try and get up on one of these platforms because there's not just one. There's like a
it's all up in the
dock
tree.
sort of a thing. Yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah, you wanted to get up.
Yeah, understanding that she wants to try and get where like the more centralized area. Like this is clearly like a loading situation, and in her mind, whatever she's looking for is going to be up in the trees.
Okay.
If it's making her way to like one of the lifts, and trying to secure a room for her party.
Okay.
It would be that kind of a thing, you know?
Excellent.
Like, have you seen, what's the Disney movie, Pete's Magic Dragon?
I love Pete's Magic Dragon. Of
And
course
nobody
I've
can
seen
see, and nobody can see the dragon, and Pete's kind of like, it's kind of like that. Like,
Okay.
Kelby knows she's got, a turtle and a couple other companions behind her, so she's not going to be trying to like cut through anything. But she is going to try and like find the easiest path for them to be able to follow her, so she can get to a lift and get us up into the trees.
Okay. It takes some finagling, especially considering your friends that are following you here. But you do find a small section of this area where people aren't really walking as much, that you can kind of bimble about, as it were, and make your way up to the top of one of these platforms. Typically, you would, take one of these lifts up there, and it seems almost automatic. You can't quite see, like, who or what is pulling these things up and down. You kind of just have to time it to get up onto this thing. Everyone's just following Kelby, right? Anyone deviating off of the path at all?
I'm not, and I would have offered my staff to like hold on to one end, and then someone behind me to hold on to one end, and someone in front of me to hold on to one end, so that we're all kind of
Okay.
moving together.
That's smart. I like that. Okay, yeah, so everyone's just kind of following Belsi here up to one of these platforms to get a better look. Kelby, this area continues to elude you with how different it is. It has been 30 years, essentially, since you have been here, even though it feels like maybe a few months. There are still remnants of your previous home, but not many. And there's potential for that to kind of bum you out. knowing that you didn't have a super deep connection to this place, considering all that you'd gone through here, especially with the company that you kept. But, you know, it's the place where you lived 99.8% of your life here. So seeing it so different has the chance for an effect on you. Does it bother you at all?
Oh, absolutely. Like, Kelby is upsetty spaghetti. Like, I think part of the reason for the disguised self is that it was just easier to, like, hide how she was feeling, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of feel like disguised self is like a weird, like, illusion that's, like, just, it's a little bit above your face. You know what I mean? And you can decide, like, how much of you comes through it.
Yeah.
But, like, this is very disorienting. Like, to see all of this, to see what happened with, like, Mistwin's home, right? And, like, how, like, sad and dark and confusing that was. And to see something similar happening here is, like, heartbreaking. And, like, I think there's, like, a level of guilt of, like, you know, I left this behind. Not that she could have done anything to stop it, but, like, I feel like she's feeling, like, a lot of feelings. And, like, chief among them is Kelby is really, really scared right now. She doesn't know what's happening. She doesn't know, like, where she's going, but she knows, like, we only have a limited amount of time to, like, figure it out. And she's, like, the person that can help with that. So I think, like, she's feeling a lot of stress.
You all stand here on this platform and look down at the bustling work around you. And even where you're standing, you kind of have to find a certain spot where the foot traffic doesn't cross your path. There are so many people here, constantly moving, constantly working, that it seems almost impossible that any square inch of this place is not at any given point covered in crates or boxes or gnome feet as they're moving around and reorganizing and packing things. Up here on this platform, you can see them packing what looks to be some sort of a plant into some of these satchels that eventually make them into crates. It's a curious thing why they would be doing this, which might require further investigation, but after just a couple moments of seeing what everyone was doing here, you see a large crowd of these gnomes kind of stop what they're doing and gather around the base of this this large tree trunk. Saying it's large is kind of an understatement. This thing is like, imagine one of the biggest California redwoods that you could possibly even imagine and multiply that by 10. This thing is insanely large. It is not very tall. It looks to be, you know, like a tree stump with vines crawling out of it from the very top. But it is wide enough that you all would have kind of skirted around this thing and very briefly been able to see some of the other side of, you know, the angle that you're currently at, but you cannot see through this thing at all. So you haven't been able to get a full glimpse of how big the space is, or what might be on the other side of this thing. Kelby, you would have known that there would have been a massive tree here. Not quite so large, and not dead at all. There was a massive tree in the middle of this grove that you and your brothers might have played on when you were younger, that you would have hidden if you needed a spare moment to yourself and you couldn't quite sneak away into the forest. You knew that there was a tree there. This is not that. It's not the same, is what I should say. But this crowd of gnomes gather near the base of this tree stump. kind of all moving together, kind of like an ant colony, following one another and conglomerating together, as a couple massive doors swing wide open in this tree stump. A platform swinging down and kind of hanging over where the doors opened, creating a impromptu platform here. And another gnome steps out, but it doesn't look like anyone or anything you might have ever seen before, any of you. This person is strange, is the best way to put it. They are old and kind of, I wouldn't even say hunched over, but they don't look natural in their stature. They are distorted. Their hair is an unnatural kind of putrid green that spikes out in strange directions and ends in tree bark. Their skin is striated with strange kind of deep lines. Their eyes are deep and dark with barely glowing lights as their pupils. This man steps up, a great smile coming across their face as their semi-jagged teeth erupt in this smile, looking down upon their peons. Their lackeys looking up at them, unmoving, unwavering, but entirely focused on this man. As they swing their arms wide open and say, "Hey everybody, how you doing? How's your evening going? Hey there. Hey George, you're not gonna listen to me anyway, it's fine. We got another shipment coming in, probably in about," Fane's looking at a watch, "probably in about 20 minutes here, so we're gonna need everyone to pick up the pace here. You hear me? Pick up the pace here." And their eyes glow a brighter orange than they were. And you see everyone kind of sway a bit. "Yeah, we're gonna get back to work, aren't we? Yeah, come on everybody, chop chop. We just got another 20 minutes here and that shipment's coming and we gotta pack these up as quick as possible. The next transit out to Tal'Dori's hitting out tomorrow morning, so we gotta get beaten feet. All right. And they just start slowly receding back off of this platform as it raises back up, the doors shutting behind them, and you see the swaying people in the crowd slowly and then very quickly start to pick up the pace. They are now basically running between different locations, picking up crates and throwing them to one another. The people packing behind you are packing furiously, even grabbing things that don't look like the plants that they've been packing into these satchels. Packing those into the satchels instead and then nailing everything shut and sending it away. Sup?
Yeah, do I recognize the voice?
You do not.
Confirming it wasn't the voice I heard in my head earlier.
Oh, then you do. Kelby would recognize this voice.
Assuming that the three of us are not very close to Kelby, but near Kelby, Turley would just mutter kind of under his breath quietly, "We're gonna have a big problem in this town."
How's Kelby looking after that?
From what you can tell, her expression's pretty impassive, and she's already looking back behind us, like in the trees, and her mouth would be in a serious line. Fuck a duck. I don't think that what we're looking for is going to be up here. I feel like we're going to need to get closer to whatever the fuck all of that was.
So we need to find a way inside the tree.
Unfortunately, I think that's... from our vantage point up high, like, I get that, like, this tree trunk is massive and it's going to be incredibly difficult, but does it seem like where we're standing, like, there's any traffic around to the other side of the tree trunk?
Oh, yeah. There's... there are very few places that you see open area, platform, walkway, packing station that isn't completely packed with stuff or someone moving about and performing their duties. You do see several like hanging walkways connecting to this tree from several different platforms, not necessarily in the one that you're on right now, but there do look to be walkways to get to and from this thing.
Yeah, Kelby is going to out loud to everyone else. Good job being quiet. I'm really proud of you. Let's just hurry and make this quick. And she's going to start moving over to one of those walkways.
Okay. The closer you get to these walkways, the more you realize how difficult it is to get to them. They are on specific platforms where it looks to be like the logistics of the business are being done. So the people that are, stamping papers and writing things down in large tomes, they seem to be fairly distracted with their tasks, but they seem to be a little bit more, they have more of a head on their shoulders than the ants down on the ground just passing boxes. So as you make your way kind of around and up to where one of these platforms are that connects to the tree with said walkway, someone will look up and stop and... Excuse me, sorry, you need a grade 4 clearance to get to the tree. Do you have identification on you?
No. And Kelby is going to kind of like hold a hand out behind her. Kind of like showing everybody like chill out, like hold on. Like don't do anything crazy yet. And she's going to I unfortunately lost my badge earlier, but I was hoping that maybe I could find it nearby. I had moved past the tree. It fell down the walkways. I think it's down there, and if I can get closer to it, I can better work towards the next shipment.
Okay, well, if you happen to drop it from one of these walkways there, someone would have likely picked that up and brought that to Lost and Found, which is done on the lower level of the tree trunk in there. You can get there from the ground if you so choose, but you do still need to prove who you are. You should be able to do this no problem. Go ahead, keep on moving, and they just get back to their paperwork.
Kelby will just nod, and is going to. Does this walkway extend past where, like behind this individual, so to speak? Like I kind of picture like they're like at a weird little desk, like it's like a stopping point kind of a thing, and it like keeps going behind them.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Kelby is going to just kind of nod and turn around and act like she's like walking the other direction. But she's gonna take a couple steps and look back over her shoulder. Like if that person looks like they're busy, she's going to cast Misty Step to warp that 30 feet behind this particular individual and like keep walking. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Turn, look, warp back behind them 30 feet and keep walking towards the tree, understanding that everyone else is invisible. They can probably sneak by. But she doesn't want to like break that spell yet.
Okay. Invisibility isn't like a concentration thing, right? Like if you do anything, it doesn't harm them at all, is it?
It is concentration. So if I have to, like, how does that work? Like, can I main concentration and do, like...
It's only if you cast another concentration spell.
That was my thought as well. Like, you can't have two
That makes
concentration
sense.
spells going.
Okay, so yeah, if this isn't a concentration spell that you are attempting with Misty Step, then you should be able to do it. You perform this spell and find yourself now 30 feet further back behind this person at this desk on this walkway, standing right next to someone else who was just kind of walking that way anyway, so now you are directly behind them. You do, however, hear something kind of strange, something you wouldn't recognize in the least bit, and you see a strange pillar kind of rise up from the ground with a, like, sort of crystal attached to it, and it just starts glowing, and you just hear this wow, 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 like this weird, pulsing, strange, like, radar sound, and everyone stops in their tracks. Every single person stops what they're doing and just kind of starts looking around.
Kelby will also stop and just, like, under her breath, "You have got to be shitting my dick," as she kind of mimics, like, what everyone else is doing.
Excellent. Oh god, what I want you to do here? Can you do like a stealth check here as you try and, like...
Can I make the argument that I'm performing a character right now?
I love this. Yes,
like 100%. I'm trying to blend into the flash mob that is present.
Let this be a lesson to you all. If I say, hey, do this thing, and you want to make an argument for something else, please feel free to.
That's a nat 20 for a 31.
Amazing. Excellent. You, like, for a split second, see what these people are doing and immediately pick up on, like, the steps like it's a dance. And you just kind of, like, fall into step, no problem, looking in, like, the same kind of odd angles that they're doing. A few moments pass, and the strange radar noise stops. The pillar descends into the ground and is covered by, like, this weird sort of grate thing. And then everyone just starts moving again.
Yeah, the second everyone starts moving again, Kelby just falls in step with them, hoping that everyone else has, like, had the opportunity to sneaky sneak and catch up.
I'm assuming everyone is following Kelby at this point.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay. You follow this walkway to this massive center tree stump, where there is another checkpoint on the other side. And you know, someone is double checking paperwork, ensuring that those who are making it across this walkway have clearance to get into the tree. You have 4 or 5 gnomes ahead of you before it is your turn.
Anders, you think you can get one of those security badges?
Probably.
That might make things a little easier.
All right, I'm going to try and steal a security badge.
Okay. You have okay, so what is the marching order here? We know we have Kelby up front. Is Turley directly behind her holding on to his staff? Where is everyone else in this line holding on to Turley's staff?
So I established I was in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would be
the
right behind
staff.
Kelby.
Yes. And then okay,
I'd
so
be
it
right
goes
behind Kelby.
Great. So Kelby, Anders, Turley missed one, right?
Oops. Caboose.
Caboose.
Turley has definitely stopped a couple of times just to make you run into him.
Oh, God. I can't see you.
I don't know.
Dick.
Nope, that's in front.
Oh, my God. That's just your tail, then.
Christ almighty. Okay, so yeah, Anders, you're directly behind Kelby here. There are 4 gnomes ahead of you, and there's like 2 coming your way. Who are you specifically targeting here to try and swipe one of their badges?
The best dressed one.
Thank you for challenging me with this. I love it. The second person that is coming on the walkway towards you all looks to be a little bit more put together than everyone else.
All right.
Looks very similar in garb to the person at the desk that was kind of guarding the walkway this way.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like they're gonna go like relieve them for a break or something.
Okay.
So is that who you're going for?
Yeah.
All right, sleight of hand, my good dude.
Oh. That's an 18 plus 10 is a 28.
Holy shit. I love it. Okay, would you like to describe how you swipe this badge from this good guy?
Yeah, so, standard, pickpocket type of thing is, distract with a touch or a bump or something like that, but you have to make it look like it's the person behind them, kind of thing. So basically, he would kind of fall in step with the line and then kind of give him a little jolt and, with one hand and take with the other.
Excellent. And you see this in quick succession where you try and distract this guy who was singularly focused on getting across this walkway, which is like a hanging suspension bridge. He appears to be a person who is deathly afraid of heights. So you do this and they just immediately grasp onto the side rail. And they even reach their hand out to Bilsey's shoulder here. Oh, sorry, just heights. I hate it. Just what was that? And they just are freaking out as you're able to just swiftly move your hands in there and grab whatever it is you need to get as they're just flinging themselves about. Excellent. You now have a you're invisible, so you're holding onto this floating badge. How do you try and hide this thing?
Well, I mean, it would be kind of a smooth movement to put it underneath my cloak, which
Excellent.
is invisible, right?
Okay.
So, and then, after that, I would, assuming spatially that Kelby and then some point behind her is Turley and Mistwin, I would kind of go up, catch back up with Kelby, and then kind of palm the badge and kind of hold her hand and pass it to her.
When you squeeze, as you hold her hand, Kelby would grip it back, and it would be really hard. You would feel that her palms are a little sweaty, and she's just kind of This is your hand. Mom's spaghetti. But then, but her face continues to be just that blank, like, I'm going about my business kind of look. You said, I know some time has passed as this is happening, but there's like 3 or 4 people in front of me, correct?
They're moving pretty quick. There's now only 2 gnomes ahead of you before you get to your turn.
I want to just take a quick look at this badge to see like the name on it, like the name and like, or like, what does it look like? Does it have like, is it like a driver's license level of identification? Is it just like
how good is
you
the
have,
camera they use to take the picture? No.
Is there
one of
like
those
a
fish
drawing
islands.
or does it like, or is it just, here's your golden ticket? You know what I mean? Like, how specific is it?
I love this question so much. Okay. It is basically like in card form. You see the person's name, which is Kant Gentle. And there is like, I'm just going to picture like one of those like magical moving pictures from like Harry Potter where it's like they're kind of in it so you can see them. You can see kind of their mannerisms a little bit. And it looks exactly like the guy that Anders just swiped it off of. So you now have the challenge of being Belsi and trying to do something with this gentleman's, pun intended, card here.
I know that magic will set off an alarm of some kind. But I also know that I was able to kind of goof my way through it, so to speak.
Yeah.
So Kelby is going to go, chew. And as she sneezes, she is going to cast Disguise Self on herself again, coming up to look like, was it Kant?
Yes.
Kant, Gentle, and is going to kind of prepare for that weird little alarm to go off.
Okay. This is extremely good. It happens almost immediately with that pillar coming back up. And the strange sort of like blaring noise halting everyone in their tracks as you begin this same sort of like strange dance of I don't know where that came from. And you see now in close proximity to these people that their eyes are glowing the same kind of like dull blue that the crystal at the end of this pillar is. Everyone's essentially looking for the source of where this is. And it just so happens that one of the people coming across the bridge here is kind of like zoning in on you. Can you make another performance check?
I did, and it's a 15 plus 11, so a 26.
This is most good. You like come up out of this sneeze looking like a totally different person, like slight magical sparkles there, showcasing that you have completed your spell. And this person kind of like hyper focuses on you as they're walking across this hanging bridge. And they immediately recognize you as Kant, and they're just like, oh, sorry, and then just keep moving.
It's okay. It's just the heights kind of freak me out, man. I don't like being on this bridge any longer than I have to. It's kind of weird. Can we get it moving?
Amazing.
Excellent.
It is now your turn up at this other security checkpoint here. What are you doing?
Hey, buddy. Sorry, I thought I was, needed to leave, but I actually need to go in there. Just real quick. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Can I get off this bridge? I'm gonna pee my pants for real. I hate this. It's freaking me out. You know how I feel about heights.
They see like now a large line of other gnomes coming up behind you and like, yeah, just keep moving, and
He'll let you pass through.
Hey, thanks. Keep an eye out for whatever the heck is going on, though. Some shit fuckery's going on.
Yeah, it might just be, just might be on the fritz again.
Yeah, I swear, it's stupid things just breaking every other day. It's like, what good are they, you know? Anyways, tell your mom I say hi.
Wait a minute, my mom's dead.
I will admit that thought passed through my brain. Oh God. You have now made it to the other side of this walkway. You and your very invisible compatriots shuffling right behind you. You're now on this kind of extended platform that has a door going into this tree trunk here. You now hear so many people in this tree trunk here. Their sound kind of like reverberating through and then out the door. It sounds like, hard to say, like a bustling market, like a busy street, like a crowded theater. You can't quite tell until you get in there. But you are just on the outside. You have a door in there. You have another continuation of the platform to another walkway out of here to like another platform in the trees elsewhere. What you doing?
Kelby, like understanding that it's still kind of bustling and like nervous as like things are getting a little more tight, like my invisible companions being discovered, like whether they're bumped into or what have you. Kelby will kind of try to go off to the side of the walkway where maybe there's a little less foot traffic and pretend like she's tying her shoe. And like is gonna mutter to herself, yeah, I'm really glad that I found my badge. That was a really good one. Since there's all this magic getting used and setting off alarms, that's pretty crazy. Like I can't even believe that 2 times the spell was cast, those alarms went off. And like she's saying all of this out loud to try and get like it's as the party comes up to try in an attempt to like not to look kind of crazy, but like so people will kind of like, oh, and like skirt around, but mostly to relay the information of like, hey, casting spells does some stuff here. Be careful. And also giving them time to like kind of catch up.
Does Kelby, first of all, Kelby's killing it, but does Kelby, whispering, obviously, does Kelby think that invisibility makes us not see? I'm just curious because we saw what happened too. Trying to communicate with us. It was a joke. Never mind.
Are you right by me? Can I hear you saying this?
I mean, I'm trying to keep it quiet enough. I don't know how many people are close to us, so
yeah.
I'm saying it quiet enough so that no one else could hear.
I mean, anybody with eyes that could see could probably determine because they know what the alarm's for. But I don't know. That spellcaster seems could be kind of pretty sneaky to me, if you know what I mean. Like I don't know, like award-winning even. That's pretty impressive to get past 2 alarms that they didn't even know existed. I mean, wow. Like I don't know, maybe a promotion is in order. And Kelby's gonna like stand up.
I never thought I'd say this, but I think Poigny might be the only one who gets my humor anymore.
Oh, okay. All jokes aside, I'm going to now go in a direction that makes any fucking sense to me. A man whose name sounds like cunt. She's then gonna just like move towards where she perceives like the voices are coming from.
We were all thinking it.
I have so many regrets.
I literally rolled a constitution check to see if I could keep my laugh in.
Amazing. Okay, yeah. So you kind of go with like the flow of traffic here. Nearly everyone that's on this platform is going into these doors and into this massive tree trunk. Very few actually coming out of it. And upon passing through the threshold, you end up on like kind of like a banister looking down into this place, and it seems to be a massive operation. There are like constructed areas where there are rooms built into this thing with windows poking out into this massive hollow trunk. So there is some like, there's a modicum of privacy in all of these different spaces, but from where you're standing, you can see basically from the very top of this thing all the way down to the ground. And this is like a processing plant, essentially. There are gnomes bringing in heaps of these dried plants onto the ground level. They're being pulled up in these small pulleys up to people kind of strapped into the walls and working on like separating the leaves from these flowers, and others like throwing satchels up to one another so that they can continue packing and processing these things. At the very top of this place, which is still like 2 levels ahead of you or above you, seems to be like the penthouse of this place, where you would gather, where that platform and those massive double doors sprung from. And people are constantly moving here. You know, you hear like a whistle off in the distance, and you see some people getting up from their stations and moving on, and others filling their stations immediately. It is a constant effort here.
I'm gonna eye that office and look down. Does it look like, in my mind, like listening to your description, that like this feels very much like a casino heist of sorts, of like there's a lot of traffic and there's like the different stations where people are at, and you've got like the penthouse, like eyes in the skies kind of office. I'm looking for something that would be like the equivalent of carts being rolled to a specific destination, like
Okay.
a storage facility of some kind.
Okay. There are like spiral walkways to get down to the bottom, and you see people like pushing these massive crates up and down these walkways and these pathways. You see most of the crates like leading outwards, but then you see a equally large room to most of the other rooms that are built into this place, but half as large, built just under, the penthouse, where there's one specific walkway where you do actually see guards standing there with like a mace. One guy's got this little tiny sword. Thank you. And that's where you see most of these kind of elevated crates being moved to. The larger ones are being processed outwards, but these smaller, more like hard-packed crates are being moved to that room.
Kelby's gonna kind of out loud again. Man, it would be a real shame if anything happened to that place where things are being stored. Like, not loud enough that anybody can hear, but loud enough, like if somebody got real close. And, you know, I bet they'd need a lot of manpower to address whatever situation that was, drawing attention away from other critical areas. Gosh, wouldn't that just be a shame? I don't even know how anyone would do that, being all sneaky and invisible, to just be able to walk over there and, I don't know, cause a ruckus. That would be really unfortunate. I'm really glad that we don't have to encounter that kind of thing, though it would make it very convenient for a small entity to make it up to a place where maybe there's other things being stored.
Just let her keep going, guys.
And it would be kind of neat if we could test that. I mean, stress test it. Not now, obviously, because there's a shipment in 20 minutes, so time is of the essence.
Do you think she wants us to do something?
Kelby will kind of...
Oh my gosh, you guys, please, for the love of God and all things holy, Can one of you guys go burn whatever the fuck's in those crates and draw the guards away so we can sneak up in there?
Oh, sure. I got it.
Anybody gonna go with him?
Yeah, we're all holding a staff.
Of course, yes.
You're gonna leave me by myself?
Of course not.
Oh, no. I'll go by myself. It's fine.
Okay.
Charlie, where are you going?
Curly does not respond.
Kelby goes, it's fine. I just gonna go over here and do canty business.
Again, so many regrets.
No, I love it. It's everything. Thank you for giving me this gift.
You are welcome. We're gonna have the camera pan out as Kelby goes to move to one area to kind of observe everything that's happening here. As my favorite description of how invisibility works is something that many of you who are fans of the Exandria way might be familiar with in terms of the oh my god, Tales of Exandria, fucking what is it called? Brain.
Calamity.
Thank you. Tales of Calamity, yes, where you can remain invisible, but you still need light to actually pass through your eyes so you can actually see. So there are two tiny little pinpricks where your eyes are, so that light can still get into your eyes so you can still see. So as Kelby goes to move one way and anyone choosing to stick with her joins her, there are several little glimmers of light that spark kind of just above her as two shorter ones move up this pathway to find their way up to just below the penthouse here and find some sort of distraction to figure out a way into this heavily guarded storehouse. I think this is where we're going to have to end our session for tonight. So we will have some sort of a cool heist moment next time. Get ready for that. Players, get those gears a-turning for how you're going to make this happen. You have 2 weeks to figure it out.
You're giving me 2 weeks.
Yes.
To 2 weeks to figure out how to distract a large room.
Yep. And we haven't been doing it purposefully since you guys have been in the forest here for our... We do a thing where I'll ask each player to provide an answer to a prompt so that we have something kind of going on between the sessions. There is a reason why you haven't been having that since you've been in the forest, but this time we will have that, so be on the lookout for that. You will have all the information you're looking for in order to prepare for this so that once we get back to it 2 weeks from now, we will be able to dive right into the cool heist moments. Speaking of all that, 2 weeks time, come back and witness the hell's gonna happen with this.